The night the woman collapsed on the cold bench of the train station, no one noticed at first. Not the rushing feet, not the blinking boards, not the train screaming past like the world had somewhere better to be. She was just another invisible soul wrapped in a torn coat, hair matted with dust and rain, hands trembling not from the cold alone but from the long ache of being unwanted. She had once had a name that mattered, a home with windows, a life with plans. Now she had a cardboard bag, a broken past, and a heart that had learned how to shrink itself just to survive. She had come to the station because it was warm and loud enough to drown out her thoughts. But even there, loneliness found her. And it was there, at the edge of giving up, that two small lives quietly stepped into hers and changed everything. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a moment. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the idea that even the most broken lives can be rebuilt, please, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your small action helps stories like this reach hearts that are still waiting to be healed. The woman had not always been homeless. Years ago, she had been a nurse, the kind who stayed late, who held hands when doctors were gone, who whispered comfort into the dark. Her life fell apart slowly, then all at once. A husband who left after her miscarriage, a mother who died too soon, medical bills that swallowed savings, and a mistake made on a night when grief was louder than reason. She lost her job, then her apartment, then the friends who didn't know what to say anymore. Pride kept her from asking for help. Shame kept her silent. Soon the streets learned her name even as the world forgot it. She moved from shelter to shelter until even those felt crowded with reminders of failure. The train station became her last refuge, a place where no one asked questions. She learned the schedules by heart, learned which guards looked away, learned how to sleep lightly so her shoes wouldn't disappear. Every night she told herself she would leave in the morning, find work, start again. Every morning, fear won. That evening, exhaustion overtook her. Her head leaned against the cold metal of the bench, eyes half closed, breath shallow. Somewhere between sleep and waking, she felt a warmth near her side, something gentle and unfamiliar. She opened her eyes to see two little girls standing in front of her, identical faces framed by neat coats, their eyes too serious for their age. They were holding hands as if the world was something they faced together. They did not flinch at her smell or her clothes. They did not look away. Instead, they looked at her the way children look at broken birds, with curiosity, concern, and a kind of fearless compassion adults forget. They had wandered away from their nanny, drawn by something they couldn't name. In their small hearts, they felt the woman's sadness before they understood it. The woman tried to sit up, embarrassed, already preparing an apology that no one had asked for. But the girls stayed. One of them gently touched the woman's sleeve, not asking for money, not offering pity, but offering presence. In halting words shaped by innocence, they expressed what they felt, that the woman looked like she had nowhere to go, and that they had something missing too. They spoke of their house, large and quiet, of rooms filled with toys but empty of warmth. They spoke of nights when their father worked late and mornings when no one braided their hair. And in the simplest, most honest way children can, they expressed an idea that would have sounded foolish to anyone else, that the woman needed a home, and they needed a mother. The woman felt something crack inside her chest, something she had sealed away years ago. She had learned not to hope because hope hurt when it left. She looked around expecting an adult to appear, to scold the children, to pull them away from her like everyone else always did. But no one came. Just the hum of trains and the quiet courage of two small souls. Their father arrived moments later, panic written across his face. He was a man worn thin by responsibility, dressed well but carrying the emptiness of someone who had lost his wife years ago and never learned how to replace the warmth she left behind. When he saw his daughters beside the homeless woman, his first instinct was fear. But the girls ran to him, tugging at his hands, trying to explain what they felt with the urgency only children have when they know something important is at stake. The woman stood up, apologizing, ready to disappear back into the shadows where she belonged. But the father noticed something in her eyes, something familiar. Not danger, not deceit, but grief. Deep, quiet grief. And behind it, a kindness that had not died, only been buried. That night did not end with miracles. There was no sudden rescue, no dramatic promise. The father simply offered her a meal, then another, then a conversation. He listened without judgment. He heard her story without interruption. And when she finished, he did not look away. Over the next week, small changes unfolded. The woman was offered temporary work at the man's home, helping with cleaning, cooking, watching the girls while he worked. She accepted with trembling hands, afraid the ground would vanish beneath her again. The girls clung to her from the first day, drawn to her gentleness, to the way she listened, to the way she tucked them in as if it mattered. The house, once echoing and cold, slowly filled with life. But healing is never simple. The woman struggled with nightmares, with the fear that she was pretending to be someone she no longer was. She expected rejection at every mistake. The father struggled too, torn between gratitude and guilt, unsure if he was crossing a line by letting his children grow attached. Society whispered its doubts. People judged. Old wounds reopened. Then came the setback. A past employer recognized her and spoke cruelly, threatening to expose her mistakes. The woman packed her things in silence, ready to leave before she could be thrown out. She returned to the train station, sitting on the same bench where everything began, convinced that happiness had only been borrowed. But the girls noticed her absence immediately. They cried, refused to sleep, asking for her with the raw honesty of children who do not understand abandonment but feel it deeply. The father followed his instincts instead of his fears. He went to the station, searching through the crowds until he found her, smaller than before, folded into herself. He did not beg. He did not promise perfection. He simply told her that she mattered, to him, to the girls, to the life they were building together. He told her that everyone has a past, but not everyone has the courage to rise from it. And for the first time in years, the woman allowed herself to believe that maybe she was not broken beyond repair. She returned, not as a servant, not as a replacement, but as herself. The girls welcomed her like the sun after winter. Slowly, officially, she became their guardian, then their mother in every way that counted. The house filled with laughter, with healing, with shared meals and quiet evenings that felt like home. Years passed. The woman regained her confidence, went back to school, returned to nursing. She never forgot the bench at the station. She volunteered there, bringing food, blankets, and most importantly, dignity. The girls grew up knowing that love is not about blood, but about choosing each other every day. Just before the ending of this story, we have a special request for you. Please comment the word kindness below if you believe that compassion can change lives, even in the darkest places. Your comment helps spread this message farther than you know. Near the end of her journey, the woman would sometimes stand at the train platform, watching strangers rush by, wondering how many miracles were passing unnoticed. She knew one thing for certain now, that hope often arrives quietly, through the smallest voices, at the moments we least expect it. If this story touched your heart, if it made you pause, feel, or believe again, please take a moment to like, share, and engage with this video. Your support keeps stories of humanity alive. And somewhere, someone who feels invisible today might find the courage to keep going because of it.